Oh, it's so short. It was just not too long, not long enough.
You want some more? I can give
you, everyone. So I want to introduce you to Cindy, and Cindy just brought her fun personality and her sense of humor and fun today, so we could have some fun together for St. Patrick's Day. Hi, Cindy, and let me introduce her properly. So Cindy is a member of our Intuitive family. She is a mom, a student, and a teacher, and she is also a community builder who enjoys facilitating virtual gatherings, which she definitely does all the time, where she uses her creativity to help people practice their intuitive skills. She is a fellow human on a spiritual journey that was amplified during the pandemic. So welcome, Cindy.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here today on such a special and important day for our family.
Oh, you're so welcome. Welcome everybody you're welcome to share any St. Patty's Day traditions. If you are Irish, share that. But I wanted to talk to you for just a second, Cindy, and in your bio you talk about your spiritual journey kind of being amplified during the pandemic. So what was it during the pandemic that made you kind of, and I think a lot of people felt that, but what was it for you that made you kind of take a kind of a leap spiritually?
Right. Well, I think I probably share this with a majority of people in the room or watching later that, before the pandemic, I was the average person running from sunup to sundown, like running here, running there from the time I got up to, throwing something in the oven just to get through the evening and going, oh. And then looking around and going, I know I'm running, but they seem to be running even faster. So I need to run even. It was starting to get, there was no time to think. There was no time to focus. It was just do, go, 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 go. And I think that one of the benefits of having quiet time was, first of all, to look at that schedule and go, I'm not sure if, I know I was doing a lot, but I'm not sure if it was, the best thing for everybody involved. And I never really got to stop and think about how I wanted to spend my time and where I wanted to spend my energy. And so when the pandemic came and I wanted to take this minute since you brought it up I was reflecting on it this week because it was 4 years ago, almost to the day that we shut down. And 4 years ago, our first holiday in lockdown was St. Patrick's Day. So I really felt that I wanted to give some perspective and gratitude. The fact that we are 4 years past it now. Mm-hmm. And I know we still have a long way to go, and there's a lot of things that the world can be better. But I look backwards now and think I'm really grateful that we've come through that we are on the, in a better place. And as rough as sometimes as it seems, I do feel, we can go outside, we can gather, we can do some things that the pandemic really made us aware of, things that we just took for granted. So I think that the timing was perfect, and having it on St. Patrick's Day was it's exactly what the universe ordered. It's being us together today and taking a minute to think about that, I think, is important.
I think that's such a good point. And I'm in the UK now. I was in the UK when that happened, and we had my husband happened to have a friend who was a travel agent who got us home because we were planning to go home the following week, and we thank goodness that we didn't stay because we would not have gotten out. And so but that also began a period where, like a lot of families, we were separated from my daughter lives here, so with her husband, so we were separated for 18 months, and lots and lots of families were separated for different reasons. I mean, there were a lot of families that were separated just because someone was in a retirement home or in a facility of any kind, really. All There was no, seeing our grandparents, great grandparents that are in assisted living. It was and you talk about things that we took for granted. Human touch was one of the things that I remember very distinctly thinking that it was such an awakening, such a lesson in to remember to give your family hugs,
Yeah.
to embrace them when you can, because that was a very, like you said, a real eye-opening time, and a lot of things we took for granted, simple things. But you talk about that period right before, and I think a lot of people felt. And I remember at the time I was still working at the preschool. I wasn't going in all the time, but I was working part-time. And I remember one of my days going in and sitting in traffic and looking around, and I was just like you, a million things going, and everybody else was too. Everybody else was doing a million things. And I remember sitting there and looking around and thinking, how much longer can we do this? How much longer can we do this? We're going to break. Something's got to break. Something's going to break, because it just felt like we were in a kind of a pressure cooker.
Yeah. But the upside in reflecting back when we finally had to take that time to be quiet is that we are all a community now that know each other virtually for the most part. And, it was taking that time to go, okay, how do I want to spend that time, this time, and taking your class that you did with Debbie with mediumship, and taking some other classes and creating community from that. And it started off where we would meet to practice, and then it was, community, and then it was practice and community, and then it was community and practice. And it became, I think of how it changed our world forever in a positive sense that, now every week, I'm able to reach out to people from different countries, from different people I never would have met. We would never would have been able to share ideas from. That was the positive that came out of it. And so 4 years later, I'm glad we still have this positive interaction that we can do, and that we've learned some things, and we've learned the importance of community, whether that is, together down the street or across the world on this type of platform. So.
Yeah, we managed to find ways to connect, right? Even though we were cut off, we were all cut off in some way, shape, or form from each other. But we found, and that's why humans are amazing, and they are so adaptable and resilient, and I find them amazing. I know they can be annoying too. But we all have those experiences as well. But honestly, humans are amazing, because we found ways to connect, creative ways to connect. I remember people driving, in caravans across, when people had birthdays, they drive by and communicating through windows with signs. And I mean, it was really, really such an interesting time to live through. And it's something I think we're all going to constantly look back on, reflect on, and also be asked about by our other generations that won't have had that experience. And a lot of realizations, a lot of people deciding, I don't like my job. I didn't realize it until I didn't have to go, but I don't like it. I don't like where I'm living. Now that I have to be here 24 hours a day, I think I'd like to live somewhere where I have more windows or a bigger backyard. I want to see my family grow up. I don't want to be away all the time, so I want to work from home. I mean, a lot of realizations during that time that I don't think people were, had any idea that they felt that way until everything stopped and we had to look inside.
Exactly. So, like I said, I look at it today, and I look at the lessons that we've learned, and the community, and the reflection, And hopefully we take some of that with us too. We don't go back to that, craziness that we had before, but we also understand that there's ways we can connect and, remember that there was some good that came from it. Not a lot, but there was some good, and that I'm appreciative of today.
Yes.
And I am very appreciative of the fun and the energy right now. Feels like we need to have some fun and maybe celebrate a little bit of, how far we've come. It doesn't seem like it right now, I know, but we've come a long way, and we've gotten through a lot together. And I just get this inspiration of, I think it's time for us to observe what's going on, not observe, but not absorb, and then take some time to do things that give us joy or that enlighten us up. Like, St. Patrick's Day is a fun day. It's also an opportunity to realize that just by lifting ourselves up with something that makes us happy, that is enough to change the energy. I think a lot of us feel like, well, I have to meditate, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to, I didn't do, I didn't send energy to the planet today. Sometimes we just have to go, you know what I did today? I had some fun with some friends, and I feel really good. And then that energy, it's more important than we think. It spreads more than we think. And so that was my hope, is that today, some of the fun energy that we all have, that we're all going to do, channeling leprechauns and looking at historical places and reading the energy on that. And it's just something that makes us in that place where that's all we need to do is raise that for ourselves, and it spreads to others. So.
Yeah. And I love that, Cindy. And I was so on board when you said, let's just do something fun. Because I just thought that is such a, I think that when you say fun, it can seem frivolous. It can seem like it doesn't matter. But like you said, it raises your vibration. And you can feel it. When your vibration is high, you can feel it. And it feels like fun. It feels like joy. You feel uplifted. And when you have fun, you are uplifted. And I think you're right. It's hard. I think sometimes people feel like because there is darkness and tragedy in the world, we shouldn't have any fun, or we shouldn't, we should be in that darkness too. And I think, like you said, it really isn't commiserating in the dark that we need to do. It's bringing the light. We need to bring that light to the darkness. And I think keeping your own vibration high is really important at this time. It's how we balance things out. It's how we move energy to be different. And so, and like you said, it's needed. It's needed right now.
Right.
So now you talked about, we were talking about this, and you talked about what you used to do for your kids. Yes. So can you tell us about that? And I'd like everyone, if you guys have stuff that you used to do or that you do now, to celebrate. But it was really cute. So talk about that.
In the spirit of leprechaun fun.
Oh, cute.
When my kids were little, and my husband and I lived to regret starting this tradition because it went on for a long time.
As it does. Yeah, you don't know what you're doing when you start something.
So we would have on St. Patrick's Day, it's always been a big celebration here, and my two little redheaded kids would be running around all excited because the leprechauns would come to visit our home, and they would make mischief. And we had two very specific leprechauns. We had Famous Seamus and Leapin' Larry. And those two leprechauns would come every year and turn furniture upside down and put hula hoops on the ceiling fans and leave gold chocolate coins everywhere. And so it was almost like Christmas morning when they would come running out to see what kind of mischief. And we had a green dry erase marker that my husband would write all over the mirrors. I see you, Leapin' Larry, and Famous Seamus was here. And so it was a good family tradition. And it was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of mess. But it was a great mess, and um, it's a tradition that I know that the whole family will be laughing about for years. But um, that is why the leprechauns are so near and dear to us, because Famous Seamus and Leaping Larry were a big part of our family. And so I wanted to ask you, Kim, to do something I don't think you've ever done before. And you're a brave person to agree to this. But I wanted to ask you if you could channel the energy or get into the energy of the leprechauns. And I have a little leprechaun trivia here for you, so that we can talk a little bit about leprechauns, because they are actually considered part of the fairy community, which I didn't know, and that their association with gold and solitary nature is reminiscent of the solitary nature of the nature spirits of Irish folklore. And they were believed to possess great wealth and were associated with earth and its resources. And although the leprechauns are unique to Ireland, the figure and archetype exists throughout the world, including Iceland, the Philippines, Indonesia, North America. And they have been talked about as little people with supernatural abilities known for their luck. So there's my spiel on the.
I love it. And it's yeah, there's a lot of things that I didn't know. I just wanted to show you what I asked for an orb this week after we talked, and this is what I got. I just wanted to share this. Can you guys see that bright green?
That's awesome.
That is a bright green orb that came in. Okay, I wanted to let me get my notebook here, and I'm just going to kind of try to connect with or get some information about these energies. I guess leprechaun energies, or
fairies might come up. Other elementals may jump in.
Yeah, elementals. That might be a better way to phrase it. Okay. So the first thing I'm getting is there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misunderstanding. So I feel like there's going to set them some things straight.
All right.
For us. So if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm just scribbling. You might be able to hear that. So
I'm ready.
Oh, Cindy is so funny. Okay. Okay. First of all, they're not all little. They're different sizes. They are big, small, different colors, different like densities. We have an idea, and they're kind of saying like it's small is cute, and it's non-threatening. So a lot of times we think of them as little or small. That's part of it anyway. At least that's what they believe, that's one of the reasons we have them be small and little. But they're saying they're all different sizes, even giants. They're saying even tall giants. So and they're also saying a misconception is that they protect nature. They're saying that they're a companion to nature, a kind of a witness to nature. They're different than a guide, because I think we think of them, or there's a misconception that they're kind of like there's a tree fairy that's kind of a protector of the tree, and they're saying that's not quite right. They are companions, friends, supporters. They support nature. So they can sometimes what feels to me like almost lending energy or helping with energy. They're showing things like forest fires. So they're saying like in something like that, they wouldn't intervene. That's not their role. Their role is to accompany, to be a supporter. So they would be there to support and facilitate the recovery and the regrowth and all of that. And they don't. It's interesting because they're like, don't. Nature does fine without us. That's kind of how they're putting it. Nature does fine without us, but it's really to kind of blend and keep the spirit energy that exists in every living thing very high, especially in nature. So it's almost like an assistance to vibrate at the level they're meant to vibrate, or to reflect source energy in a way that doesn't dim in any way. And I feel this is all of nature. It's plants and trees and grass and everything like that, but it's also animals.
And are they in a certain part of the world, or are they everywhere?
Everywhere.
And how will we recognize them?
They're saying they have been seen, or it's because they'll present themselves. They make the decision if you see them. You don't see them by accident. So they will present it to you if you set that intention, if you want to see that. And they usually will appear small to not scare anyone or be threatening. So I feel like people have seen them as tall things, big things, but it's usually people that have gifts to see elementals, and they're usually people who are not fearful. They usually are able to. But there's millions and billions of them on the planet, especially now. There's and it's that source energy running through nature. It keeps it at a certain level, because this is a very dense, and it can be a very heavy place to be, even for nature. But it helps. It's a companion to nature. They're companions to nature.
So are they related to the fairies?
Okay. So I think I got it. They're just saying they just are. Okay. We give them names. We give them kind of what we want to give them. We perceive them in ways we want to perceive them. And it's like we do it first and they respond. So we might think, oh, I'd love to see a fairy, or I love fairies, and they'll respond by being fairies. I feel like the form they take is up to us. We have a big part in how they present themselves to us. They are just energy. They are like a light energy. And I feel like they do have different colors. They do exude different colors or multiple colors, but they are, when they take a form, when we see them, we're helping to create that form or help create what we see. Because if we just jump to the other side of the veil, we see them as like a color, almost like like little orbs, big orbs, tall, and they kind of are like long. They're showing like even like beams, like long, like tall beams of light. To me, they seem more like, if we were to jump to the other side, they're just all different kinds of lights, and that's why sometimes we do see them as like little tiny like buzzy lights. That's probably more true to the form of some of them rather than like a fairy, a leprechaun. They love, but they love the imagination of humans, and they want to play with us, and they love it. It's fun. It's exciting. They don't get offended because we want to imagine them this way. They respond to that, and they play with us. It's a joint effort.
So
So
we
we
haven't offended them with
fairies, and they exist, right?
yes, we haven't offended them with our famous Seamus and Leaping Larry, huh?
Yeah. No, not at all. It's they just, it's such a, their energy feels it almost feels, it's so light and bright, it almost feels a little intoxicating. It feels like it's kind of, because I can feel that like really lightheaded feeling, and usually I'll get that with angels, with the very, very high, level beings. And that's what it feels like. And there's a real, what is the word? It's almost like a like a pop or a spark. There's something in that as well, in their energy, that's just a little bit different than like if I talk to a person or even a pet. It's a different kind of energy. It's light, like I want to say light and airy, but it is kind of airy, and it has kind of a pop to it or a spark to it.
Wow. So is there any leprechaun wisdoms they want to share with us?
They're saying when you commune with, when you connect with, when you take care of nature in any form, that you have no idea what you are, the expansion that you're taking part in, both for your own soul growth, but also for the earth itself. So they're encouraging, and I'm getting chills right now. So they're like excited about what I'm about to say, but they're encouraging us to, in any teeny, even the tiniest way. They're saying even the littlest thing, even watering your house plants. We just don't understand how important it is, and how our own soul grows from it, and how the earth benefits from it. We don't understand. We will, and when we're on the other side, we do. But if you really want to participate in your own soul growth, and you want to at the same time participate in the growth and give help the benefit of Mother Earth, any little thing, and they keep saying the tiniest thing, watering your grass, petting, taking care of your pets, feeding birds outside, watering a tree, sitting by a tree, hugging a tree, even just talking to the plants, going and appreciating the beauty of flowers and anything. It's a powerful back and forth. It's a powerful connection, and it expands and benefits us and the earth in a way we don't understand.
Well, that's amazing, because that's a beautiful message, and you kind of don't put that with you typically with a leprechaun. You would think that, but that's a really amazing message. I love that. Thank you.
And they're all kind of come from one energy, and then they all kind of take their little place and do their little part. And so it's like a large energy that splinters off into millions of bits to support nature on Earth.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thanks.
Sure.
You. And so I have one other thing that since we're on this roll here of Irish, well, folklore, and now I'm going to bring us into something that is a really interesting historical site, and nobody's 100% sure what it is. There's theories. So I wanted to see if you could pick up something from this location. I'll bring it up. I'm going to share it on the screen. Okay. All right. So do you see this okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this location is called Newgrange or Brunaboyne. And we went to this location years and years ago. And it is a considered one of the oldest structures on the planet. And it is even considered to be older than Stonehenge and the pyramids. And it's a large mound surrounded by 97 stones, many of which are covered in megalithic art. And there's also well-known entrance stones where the area around it, there's considered to have fairy mounds. And it is I think it's this winter solstice or summer solstice, the light that comes through there is amazing. So that is Newgrange. And I had another picture, but I don't think I'm able to pull it up for a while. Let's leave this one. So what are your impressions?
So the first thing I got was worship, and I also got sacrifice. Ooh. So I feel like there may have been some kind of rituals and some kind of like worshiping. I want to say the stars, the moon or the stars, because I feel like it's something at night. Or the planets, it's some kind of worshiping, or what is it? A requesting. I feel like they're requesting things from the stars and the moon. I feel like they're requesting things from the sky. So it was a way of worshiping and pleasing what was up here. And what were they? I'm asking what they were asking for. I feel like they felt it had something to do with protection, but I also feel like it's something to do with battles as well, because I feel like it was like so I'm getting a feel like it was used for different things at different times. I feel like it was the first thing I got was the worship and sacrifice, but then this other thing about asking the stars and the moon for help. They are showing me like each star is like an eye. So it's like they thought these were eyes watching them. There's something about that. It's like eyes watching us. So it was used for that. And I feel like it was someone dreamed it up. Someone had a dream where they saw this. Someone dreamed it up. It came in a dream.
Wow.
Okay, that's all I'm getting.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for that, because it was interesting when we went there, and we got a little puzzle when we were there, and they were talking about it. It's in Meath County in Ireland, and it was, even the people giving tours were like, well, we're not 100% sure what this is, but we think it's, and a lot of what you were saying, but I think what's interesting is that, considering how old this structure is, most people don't know about it. Most people think of the.
I've never heard of it. I have never heard of that.
Yes, yes. So, and they call it Bruna Boini, is how they say it when you go there, but it's called New Grange, is kind of commonly known. And
did it have an energy to it, or did you feel anything when you went there?
Yeah. And this was years ago, but it felt like first of all, it felt like the people that built it were really, really small. They were tiny people. And it felt like it had something to do with that winter solstice and the way that the light hit it. There was some purpose for that, although I wasn't sure what that was. But it did. It had an energy about it. Like it was definitely an important place. But I still, like I said, when we were there, nobody could exactly say what it was. It was just it was a place that they figured that there was some sort of ceremonies done, which is exactly what you were getting. But so now
I'm just getting a piece, because I feel like it over time it changed what they used it for. You know what I mean? So because it felt like it was different at different times, but those were the things that came in strongest.
Right. So anybody that has a party to go to that needs trivia, St. Patrick's Day trivia, now you know. You have some interesting history to talk about it. But I remember being there going, I wonder one day if we'll ever figure out exactly what this was for. So, and I appreciate you reading it. I appreciate you going all the way to England for our get together today, so you could be closer to this structure.
Yes, I know, right? It probably did help, actually.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting piece of Irish history that I think. So I have a feeling in the future that they're going to find something, or something's going to become known about it. Maybe how they take. I don't know, but I feel like something will in the future we'll get more information.
Yeah, and Gina says she feels druid energy. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
It absolutely could be. I just wanted to see what people were saying.
A place of worship. And,
method of communication with the stars and their gods. Awesome site.
Yeah, and I'll send the link to that.
Yeah.
Put it in the description if people want to look it up later. It is interesting to do.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, like it was great. Never heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that is my St. Patrick's Day fun for you.
Well, and I had a few little things back here that I just wanted to look at, because people were talking about how cute. Shay Kitty says, love the green. My daughter took my grandson grocery shopping. He wore a St. Patrick's Day shirt and was laughing through the store. He made Minnie smile at the the ginger hair. Cute. Sorry, Cindy, I'm just looking through it.
Yeah.
Oh, Gina says she belongs to your Akashic reading group, and it is awesome.
Thank you.
um, nature, Lisa says nature is amazing. Even slime mold seeks connections. Isn't that interesting?
Yes, that really is.
So yeah, it's so much a part of it, that communal thing that, it's just so obvious that we're meant to be kind of connected,
Yeah.
um, it's all around us.
And
um,
I was cleaning up in here today because it's nothing like having a special event to make you clean your home or clean your office. And your cards dropped on the floor, and this one flipped up, and I wanted to share this because I thought it was perfect for today.
oh, nice.
Right? And it's today, my intention is to play. May I have a lighthearted and playful approach to events, peoples, and circumstances in my life. And so,
There's the tire swing.
yeah. So I appreciate us being to get together and talk about some fun things and have community. And I appreciate everybody, in the chat, in the room, that we've spent the last 4 years helping each other through challenging times and being there for each other for celebrations. And I really do feel like whatever's coming ahead in the next, how many years, that the fact that we've taken this time to build community and to have a place where we can reach out and just laugh on a day where it's hard, and just share our thoughts and feelings with each other has been such a wonderful thing. And I want to thank you, Kim, for helping bring us all together with your classes that you did with Debbie. And a lot of us have, met that way through you and her, and other classes with the Akashic Records. And the nice thing is we've all stayed as a community, and we've all used this time, I think, in a really positive way. And that whenever we feel like I'm not sure what's coming, or I'm not sure, this week seems kind of tough, just know that we're here for each other, and that, hey, if we can get through the last 4 years, we can get through anything. And that we have the positive energy that we can bring just by being in that place of calm and enjoyment is enough. That's enough. And that to not feel like every day we have to meet a certain standard as far as what we have to contribute. Being ourselves and being in that vibration is enough.
I completely agree, and I'm so appreciative as well. I mean, this is our family, right? It really is, because there are so many days when something happens, and every day something happens, but there are days where it's especially tough, or especially rough, or it's like, oh man, this thing happened, and it just kind of, it weighs on you. And I will get on with our community, either with whether it's my show or someone else's, or just getting on with the club. And it is like breathing fresh air. It really is. We all lift each other up and help each other through this. And when one person's energy is low, another person's energy is high. So we're all kind of helping each other through all of this. And Sue, this is a perfect example. Sue says, healing prayers to anyone who needs it, or for a friend or family member. I constantly people are helping each other. Even just in the chat, they'll have little conversations among themselves going, this happened, oh my gosh, I'll pray for you, I'll help you. It's so uplifting to see people helping each other. And I was, thinking about this today, that, I really do think, and maybe it's wishful thinking, but I really do think 98% of the world they're just trying to do their best. They're just trying to do their best, and they stumble and they make mistakes, but they really are just trying to do their best and get through. And And we have that 2% that are just whatever they are in a different, mode or whatever. But most people are like this. They need to have the opportunity to kind of to be able to share and grow and have the opportunity to be able to help. Sometimes people don't know how to get involved or what to do, or but they're craving it. I think most people really do crave connection and and wanting to help each other, because life is no matter whether you have a great life or a really really hard life is hard. Nobody gets out of this place without some dings and some some knocks upside the head and some gut punches. We don't get out of here without it. We all experience grief. We all experience heartache. We all experience all of these things, and to have a community to share with, and to, as Debbie always says, link arms and come together. Gosh, is it just a blessing? And today, especially, I mean, such a fun idea, Cindy. I'm so glad you could come on and chat, and that you finally. I've been asking you to come on. If you want to come on, I'm like, if you want to come on, I'd love to talk to you, because I love you're so creative with your the sessions that you do, and I also, and you'd said before, that I don't have anything to promote or anything to, and I'm like, that's interesting, Cindy. Really, that you just do this because you love it. And I think that it's such a beautiful example, and so I really do appreciate you coming on. And is there anything, are you having any practice groups right now, Cindy, that you're doing that you can let people know about, or if they'd like to find out more about it?
Yeah, we do. We have 2 practice groups, and we meet and practice everything from Akashic readings to open practice, whether it's mediumship or whatever cards. We do a variety of things. We've read on crop circles together. We've learned tarot together. We've done a lot of fun things together. And then, like I said, even more important is we share how we're doing. And each week is, you never know what's going to happen, or it's a great community. So if you, we can put my email in the description box below.
Yeah, I will. I can absolutely do that. And also, Cindy, please tell people that that to not be intimidated. That everybody's nice, everybody's supportive. And even if you're not sure, and you're just kind of, putting your toe in, and you're try it and just have fun. Again, that you'll be absolutely shocked at what you get and what comes forward when you set that intention to read, to move into that energy, and to have an experience. Right?
Yeah, because I think it's so interesting a lot. And there's people in the chat here too that have been in the room. They're like, I just don't know. I don't know if this is for me. I don't know if I can do this. And like 30 days later, they're like, yeah, I'm ready to step it up and go to this next thing. And it's such a, it's fun, and we're supportive, and, we're human. Some days it's like, if you've ever played golf, and one day you play golf and you're like, I'm so good at this, and I'm just hit. And then the next day you can't hit the ball. Right. And so, but we still go back out, and you keep on at it, and you realize that you're not alone, in that everybody has days that are better than others. But it's like anything that you focus on, that you have an intention, you just have to set intention for it, and that you're willing to give some practice to. And if nothing else, it's just a kick. It's a kick to see everybody and find out what they're doing. And I'm sure that I'll get a lot of interesting feedback from everybody.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's such a fun way to come together, and again, to kind of open up your abilities. And you may even find that you end up doing something or experimenting with something that you never would have otherwise. So if you have that feeling of when spirit talks to us, it's like it's an urge, or it's it comes in a curiosity, a really a curiosity that wants to be kind of followed. And so if you feel like that when we talk about these things, do it. Just to go and see what spirit wants you to learn, because I think a lot of times, we stuff it back down because we think, oh, I can't do that. I've never done anything like that before. But no, if you feel like that sounds interesting, or I wonder if I could do that, that is spirit talking to you. So, answer the call and do it. I wanted to kind of end with this one. Oh gosh, where is it? Now I've lost it. Oh no.
Look at my,
that we're a light. Oh, here it is. Delma. Thank you, Delma. The light will win. We are a light family. It's amazing how we come together. Readers I listen to independently came together somehow, so I can see them collaborate together, and so grateful. And again, none of us could have seen the fact that we have blended all these communities, and it's a force to be reckoned with. When you ask for prayers for something, let me tell you that you feel it. I felt it. I mean, I asked for prayers, and did I feel it from my in the club. And it's amazing. This is a powerful community and a force to be reckoned with, for sure.
And before we sign off, I have to say, my little shillelagh, or my little Irish dog shillelagh over here.
Oh, baby.
She's always part of the group, so that makes it so worthwhile. That she's always.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
And I know our animals love the energy when we do this type of work, or we're together. She always has to be here. So.
Oh, they do. My little Lucy used to jump on my lap every time I turned on the computer. She knew exactly what was going on. And Luke is the same way with Adam. When it's Thursday Night Live, he wants to be right front and center. So they absolutely know and support it fully.
Yes.
So
and he's Irish too.
Of course he is. Oh, cute.
Anyway, well, I really, like I said, I wanted to remind everybody, go play, have some fun, channel the leprechauns.
Yep.
Go plant something.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cindy. And thank you, everybody. Have a great St. Patrick's Day. Go play. Have a good one.